All right, man. Appreciate everybody for checking in. And yeah, I wanted to squeeze this live in today because I don't know if I will be able to squeeze it in Saturday or Sunday morning. Kind of want to give my last 2 cents, and I kind of do this every week. Prediction Monday. I say probably prediction. Don't know the injury report. I want to do predictions on Monday. I keep them on Mondays, and then I do a final thoughts, updated prediction on Friday. So I think I'll keep it that way. Um, and I'll do a post video reaction after the game, and then I do a live stream maybe Monday or later Sunday night. So I figure it out. We figure something out. How I'm gonna get it going, man. Fred Renardo, what's going on? So yeah, kind of want to get this out the way, so I don't have to worry about doing no more live streams this weekend. Um, and going down, and we taking on the Arizona Cardinals, as everybody know. I think we had 2.5 point favorite last time I checked. And usually the home team they gets about 3 points just because they're at home. And week one is actually a toughie. You know, it's always tough. To predict because you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know how good teams are. You don't know how good rookies are. You don't know who improved or whatever. You know, so you really don't know. But give me 1 minute. I'll get my picks as well too on this one on this channel, so I have to update it. But yeah, Melvin Drew is going on Streetwise Television, so you really don't know what to expect going to week one. We've seen the Bears and the Packers, and Aaron Rodgers didn't play a snap in preseason, and he looked hella rusty. I think we all can agree his timing was off, and you gotta give credit to the Chicago Bears defense. Their defense is outstanding. I mean, Leonard Floyd, is it Leonard Floyd? His name Floyd, whatever his name is. They pass rusher outside linebacker. He was giving Bakhtari the business with the bull rush last night, and Khalil Mack was Khalil Mack. And you know what? Kyle Fuller made some good plays, but the division, if it's based off last night, which it really ain't, division ain't insurmountable unless Minnesota go out there and do some great crazy things. But Matthew Stafford had way more snaps in the preseason than Rodgers. Take from last night game and just looking and looking going forward for for Sunday, that I think a lot of our coaches and team can learn from is one thing I took. Trubisky should no quarterback be dropping back 45 times. Okay, all right, and that's one thing you're looking at with Darrell Bevel Sunday. We got to run the ball. I think Mike Davis had 8 carries for Chicago, and I think David Montgomery had 6. Could have been the other way around. They had 14 carries and 45 dropbacks from Trubisky, and that's not what we're looking for. That's Jim Bob Cooter like. We can't have Stafford dropping back 45 times with that line. And look, Green Bay historically got a solid line, and look what Chicago did to them. You can't drop back 45 times, okay? And Trubisky or whatever, you can't have Stafford dropping back. Even he got Terrell Suggs and Chandler Jones. That's a challenge. Say what you want to say. Terrell Suggs, an old Wily vet, and Chandler Jones is one of the most electric pass rushers off the edge in the NFL right now. Can't have him dropping back 45 times. In this division, you're gonna have to run the ball. Just think about it for a minute before we get to the Cardinals, who you're going up against. Okay, you got Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith, who showed their ass from Green Bay last night on the edge. You got Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith, I think his name Leonard Floyd from Georgia, coming off the edge in Chicago. Minnesota, you got Danielle Hunter, one of the most overrated defensive end out there. And then on the other side, you also got on the other side, you got Everson Griffin that's still there, Anthony Barr, Eric Kendricks that can rush up the middle. So in Detroit, not too snazzy as well. You got Trey Flowers, Deshaun Hand, Devin Kennard. I mean, in this division, if you plan on dropping back 45 times, I don't think you're gonna have a pretty game. You're just not. It's not gonna happen. And don't forget, Trubisky ain't got the best line either. But one thing I noticed is balance. The Lions, that's the number one thing I'm looking for come Sunday is the ability to run the ball effectively. I know they got rid of Robert Nkanichi, the old problem out of Ole Miss. I'm not sure, exactly a lot of the interior linemen from Arizona. The Hassan Reddick, linebacker out of Temple, pretty good. He's questionable. We got a few guys questionable as well. Deshaun Hand, he went through individual drills today. Rashad Melvin, he questionable as well as Hand went through individual drills. Ragnar questionable, I think he went through drills most of the week. Davis is questionable. He's still being look on. He looking when the media around, so we don't know if he did drills when they wasn't around, but he didn't do them while they was around. So got a couple questionable guys, but the thing that I'm looking at, just looking at the defense, just looking at this game, it is it's no excuses for Stafford. Okay, I'm gonna just say that right now. Going into this game, there's no excuses from Stafford because at the end of the day, they can use the excuse Aaron Rodgers was rusty. He got a new offense. He didn't go through preseason. He didn't take a snap through preseason, right? But like I said before, and that's why I asked the question in the community tab. I think I asked on Facebook. I made videos about it. Why was it important, or was it important to you if Stafford played preseason? A lot of people said no, 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 no. If you one of the people that said playing in preseason wasn't important for Matthew Stafford, don't come Sunday if he don't play well, or if they lose because of him and he ain't sharp, or he come out looking rusty like Aaron Rodgers. You can't have it both ways. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, "Hey, man, Stafford don't need preseason." Oh man, Stafford was rusty. If he had took more snaps in the preseason, you can't say that. Preseason, you need preseason. Everybody want to say, "Well, why we do these joint practices?" Look here, man. From somebody that play football, practicing the game is totally different. Individual drills, 7-on-7s, even scrimmages in high school. Even though you're not supposed to hit the quarterback, but it's different. Putting two hands on the quarterback or grabbing his little flag on his side or whatever is different from a live rush and hitting the fuck out of him. It's different. And you seen it with Aaron Rodgers. His peripheral was off and his arm looked like his arm last night. I was saying to myself, not listening to Undisputed, I was like, when he threw that couple balls he threw down the field, I'm like, his arm don't look as good as it did. I don't know if he had some type of injury, his arm wasn't good, but Stafford looked pretty in sync. At least physically, he moved well versus Buffalo. His arm looked electric versus Buffalo. So I'm not expecting him to be Aaron Rodgers. He got a little taste and he moved well, but that's not an excuse. You can use the excuse. We say, well, he should have played in preseason. Then cool, you on wax saying he should have played in preseason. You can use that excuse, but for people who said he didn't need to use preseason, you can't bring that excuse to the table. Can't. So that's out the window. Again, it's second straight year they going against a rookie quarterback. And I think we quick to forget what happened last year. I was at the game. Sam Darnold, he threw a pick six early in the game, and he did enough to beat the Lions. But really, when you look at it, the Lions offense didn't bring a hell of a lot to the table. Stafford had, 3 or 4 picks. He was off. The defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. I think this year it should be different from a defensive standpoint. You play Flowers all that money. Hand might play. He may not play. I don't think that's crucial if you play or don't play right now. Because the depth by getting Mike Daniels and you got Kennard, you got Romeo Rockwell, you got guys that can play that position. You know what I'm saying? But he will be a critical part when you play the Chargers or you play the Eagles. Like, I'll get to defense in a minute, but they should be able to stop the run good enough this year. You got Harrison starting off. You got Mike Daniels that can get upfield and rush the passer that can stop the run. You got Flowers who are all around defensive end. You know what I'm saying? But really, what it boiled down to is going to be defensively is containing and gap control. They ain't played a lot with each other. Keep your gap. Don't let Flowers is a veteran. He knows not to let his outside hand his right hand get tied up. He know to keep and go upfield and don't crash in too hard and keep Kyler Murray, in the pocket. whoever coming off the other edge, maybe Kennard or Rockwell or whoever, they got to know not to let their left hand get tied up and keep that left hand free. And make, if Kyler Murray gonna scramble, make him scramble in the middle of that defense. Don't let him get outside contain, get on the edge, and be able to get leverage on some of his throws on the edge. If he moving up the field, he moving through the middle of the line and stepping up in the pocket and trying to be mobile, he not gonna be able to get full leverage on his throws. That's just what it boiled down to. It's gonna be contained for the defensive line. It's gonna be discipline for the linebackers. It's gonna be a lot of play action. It's gonna be a lot of RPOs. It's gonna be a lot of run. It's gonna be a lot of bootlegs, moving the pocket. At the end of the day, they got a guy named Andy Isabel that can get behind the defense, and he can run. And you got a savvy vet in Larry Fitzgerald, and we gonna break down the matchups. But just going through some things. But let's get to the matchups. I'm not gonna be on long, but just looking at the matchups, and we look defensively, is the matchup that I'm looking at is David Johnson versus the Lions defense. That's my if you didn't see my fantasy video, that's my fantasy lock for this game. I'm locking in. If I'm getting any guy from this game, I'm locking in David Johnson. The reason I'm locking in David Johnson is because a running back of his skill level is gonna be something that Kyler Murray gonna lean on. He gonna be checking down, and if shit get ugly early, they're gonna be running the ball with him a lot, and he gonna catch a lot of balls. I won't be surprised if he had over 30 touches that game, maybe even 40 touches. So he gonna be checking the ball down like he gonna be Kyler Murray's best friend. You got to take away his safety valve. All right, his safety valves is gonna be David Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald, and Charles Clay. Charles Clay is probably my sleeper pick fantasy-wise from Arizona. Charles Clay is a good tight end. He just ain't got a lot of good quarterbacks behind. Kyler Murray's probably probably the best quarterback he played with. Miami, Buffalo, I believe. So those are the three guys that I'm focusing on if I'm the Lions. Justin Coleman versus Larry Fitzgerald, has been noted that he ain't had a really good preseason in the slot, and Coleman is going to be asked to guard. In my opinion, I got Larry Fitzgerald as a top 5 wide receiver of all time. I mean, that's just my opinion, but he going to be asked to guard Larry Fitzgerald in the slot, Justin Coleman, and you got to determine whether he can handle Larry in the slot, because Larry not going to run. Larry shouldn't be running by nobody. Ricky salute. Larry shouldn't be running by nobody. But what he can do, he can get in and out of breaks. He can do the slant goals, or he can do a lot of things. The whip routes, he can run those agility routes, and he can probably set you up to go deep. That post down the middle of the field. So Fitzgerald is going to be a critical matchup. The Fitzgerald matchup going to be tough, because if they can take away David Johnson and Fitzgerald, then you got to turn your focus on to Charles Clay. Because then Charles Clay is tight end, and he can play. He just ain't had a lot of good quarterbacks. But Charles Clay is a guy that that a tight end is usually a quarterback's best friend, especially a young tight end. He about 6'4", he can run a little bit. He can make himself available middle of the field. He, like I said, he got some good speed, and tight ends the last few years have killed the Lions. So if I'm looking at matchups, those are 3 matchups I'm looking at. I need to take away David Johnson, Fitzgerald, and Charles Clay in that order. But you're going to see a ton of RPOs, a ton of play action. It's going to be about being disciplined. They're going to come out fast. They're going to come out no huddle. And what you're going to have to do is tackle. You got to tackle. That's what you're going to do early on. They might get up there and move up and down the field. But one thing you want the Lions to do is keep contained and tackle the ball carrier. That's it. Early on. And when you get a sense of what they're doing on the sideline, okay, this is what they're doing. It's going to be a lot of smoke and mirrors. It's going to be some rubs. It's going to be some RPOs. They're going to try to get fast. And really, it might be some big runs for Johnson early on. Some good catches on the flat, some Texas routes, some option routes. They're going to come out fast. Don't be surprised if they're going to move up the field pretty fast. But just from my point of view, I would get up and jam motherfuckers. What I would do is I would jam the receivers. I wouldn't get no free releases. I would jam the motherfuckers. You know what? I would jam them. And I might even throw a few blitzes in there early and see how that line handle them. But you can get there with the 4 we got. But I would get up on them receivers, jam them. I would bracket Larry Fitzgerald. And that's what I would do. I would say, you know what, little midget motherfucker, beat me down the field with your arm. Okay, I would get up and challenge them receivers at the line, and I might blitz five, I might blitz six, I might Jose salute, Gennaro, what's going on? I might blitz. I might. That's a good point. Gennaro G. Berry. He said Coleman was on Seattle, so he been seeing Larry twice. Good point. So that's what I will be looking at. I'll be bringing a lot of nickel blitzes. I'll be doing a lot of combo coverages, zone here, man here. It's a combo. Sometimes you run man on one half, or then you have a combo. You have zone coverage. You might have somebody drop under. I might drop some linemen in there. But that's what I'll be doing. I challenge those receivers. I will bump them. I won't give them no free release unless it was 3rd and 10 or some 3rd and 40 shit like the Bears last night. But that would be my game plan. The three guys that they got to take away is David Johnson, in order, Larry Fitzgerald, and Charles Clay is the three. Now, can Andy Isabel get by somebody? Hell yeah. Andy Isabel from UMass can run. That white boy can run. So that's somebody I'll be looking. Christian Kirks, he can get down the field too. Crabtree, he can catch. He been having some drops. If Crabtree is the one that's eat tomorrow, I'll live with Crabtree beat me because Crabtree ain't running by nobody. James Willis, salute. Crabtree ain't running by nobody. But those are three matchups I want y'all to pay attention to tomorrow from our defensive standpoint of view. David Johnson, Larry Fitzgerald, Charles Clay is the three. And Max Williams. If Max Williams start, he get in there. He a nice tight end from Minnesota. Most people in the Big Ten remember Max Williams. He was in Baltimore, and Joe Flacco and Lamar Jackson wasn't doing pretty well. You know, but those are the matchups that I would look for. And then also the most obvious matchup is the defensive line. They line versus our line. And our line should eat. It may be a wake-up period where Daniels got to knock the rust off. He had a little foot injury. He did play a couple games last year towards the end, I think. Flowers got to knock the rust off. If Hand play, that's a huge boost. Harrison, he should be in good shape. Ashawn Robinson. So I like the matchup, just the four down linemen. If Jared Davis played, great. If he don't, hey, Talani, get in the middle, do what you got to do. And it's going to be tough for him early on, too, because his hips going to have to be loose because they're going to do a lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of, hand it off, pull it back, throw. It's going to be a lot of quick throws, a lot of move in the pocket, getting Kyler Murray on the edge. And like I said, they can't play 10 yards, 5 yards. They got to play aggressive bump and run and make him make the tight throws. You know what I'm saying? And make him, and blitz some. So we'll see. I think Patricia got an idea. Like they said, it's 10 years of film on the air raid offense. They got the quarterback telling what's going on. Mike Leach, I think he was the first one to start the air raid, I remember. So Mike Leach been running the air raid for years down at Texas Tech. And you know what it's entitled. They're gonna have some pro. If Cliff Kingsbury is smart, he's gonna have some pro. He's gonna have some pro principles in that offense. If not, he gonna get slaughtered. If he don't have no pro principles in that offense, he gonna get slaughtered. If he come out there and try to beat Chip Kelly and just do that offense, it may work for a minute. They might defeat the Lions with it, but at some point he gonna get slaughtered. But offensively, what I'm looking for from the Lions, it's the run game first. That's where it started at. Since Barry Sanders retired and James Stewart ran for 1,000 yards, our problem has been consistently getting the running back. I'm looking at Kerryon Johnson. If I'm locking the Lion in, I'm locking Kerryon Johnson in tomorrow. Kerryon Johnson should eat tomorrow. You know what? He should eat. He gonna catch some balls. You in the PPR league. He gonna get some rushes. Kerryon Johnson should eat the ball. Darrell Bevel ain't no Jim Bob Cooter. He ain't gonna be a running back by committee. They gonna feed the beast. He gonna run the ball. He gonna catch the ball some out the backfield. He gonna be Stafford number one weapon. But the whole thing about the running the ball is it's been like we've been cursed. We haven't been consistently able to run the ball. It may have been after James Stewart had the 1,000 yards coming from Jacksonville. Kevin Jones, Kevin Smith, all these running backs we had. Joyke Bell, Reggie Bush, he got 1,000. It didn't seem like it because we tapered off the end of that season. But it's always a question. The Lions' offense is about running the ball. If they can run the ball with success, they can run block, especially this year, because the offensive line, especially the tackles, if Taylor Decker recovered from the shoulder injury, then I trust him at the left tackle. But if not, Rick Wagner is going to get blew back. You can't be dropping back 45 times Trubisky dropped back last night. 45 times he dropped back. Who dropping back versus that defense 45 times? I mean, versus, them Preston Smith and Zadarius Smith 45 times. Who? They can play. Preston Smith came from Washington and Zadarius came from Baltimore. They can play. And they not gonna lose contain neither all the time. You after Trubisky had a little, he did his little ballet dance. After a while, Preston and Zadarius is veterans. They let him break contain. I'm looking for balance tomorrow, and I'll tell you the things I'm looking for man. We doing matchups right now, but Carry-On gotta run the ball. Anderson gotta run the ball. I want to see success running the ball north, south, off tackle. I want to see consistently be able to run the ball down the middle of the defense. That's the number one thing I'm looking for. Number two, if you playing daily fantasy sports, I'm locking in Stafford tomorrow. On FanDuel, Stafford is $6,600. He's $6,600. To put in perspective, Kyler Murray is $7,600 on FanDuel tomorrow. So they project Kyler Murray to have a bigger debut versus the Lions defense than Stafford versus the Cardinals. So the thing about daily fantasy, and I got a video on my other channel about it. The thing about it is you want to get the low percentage owned guys that's going to have a good day. And Stafford might be in the single percent. He may be 5, 6, 7, 8% owned. Because the guys tend to want to kind of stack up on the early games if you're playing the 1 p.m. main slate. So Stafford might be a really, really sneaky pick tomorrow for a for a big game. Because Galladay, he looking to get paid. Marvin Jones looking to prove to stay on the team. And Hockenson, man. Hockenson, I'm looking for the Hockenson connection tomorrow. Sunday, especially if no Reddick in the middle of that defense. I'm looking for Hockenson to tear it up tomorrow. Now, the reason why I said stay away from the Lions tight ends is because I don't know the rotation. I don't know if Jesse James going to get some or it's going to be Hockenson going to get some. So it's tough. That's the one I'm staying away from because I don't know who's going to eat. But if you're willing to guess, the way the Hockenson and Stafford connection going, if they able to open up Hockenson and Stafford, Amendola is probably going to get 10 balls tomorrow. Sunday. I keep saying tomorrow. Marvin Jones going to catch a couple deep. It's going to be nasty. If they able to open up that middle of the field, I predict Matthew Stafford is going to eclipse 35 touchdowns this year. If Hockenson and James is able to do their thing in the middle of the field, and I predict Stafford is going to have over 35. If they able to do that, I have to wait and see. But the running game is what I'm looking for in Stafford. After the running game, I'm looking how good Stafford is, how crispy he is. 2 starting cornerbacks out. You got Marvin, you got Galladay on the outside, you got Amendola in the slot. You're gonna have James and Hockenson working the middle of the field with Amendola. If they able to control the middle of the field with the tight end and Amendola, I look for a huge day from Stafford. I look for an extremely big day from Stafford. Only reason I kind of say lock Carry-On in more is because I think Carry-On is I think he's just more safer pick. But I'm looking at those guys, and I'm looking, and then the other match I'm looking at as well. Before I get to the edge, and looking at the receivers, I'm looking at Jones on whoever covering him. I think Byron Murphy from Washington University, he one of the corners tomorrow, and I think Tremaine Brock, he's an NFL veteran, he one of the corners tomorrow. So I'm looking at Brock and Murphy Sunday. I keep saying them. I'm looking at Brock and Murphy versus Jones and Galladay. And I don't know who they nickel is. Deion Buchanan, he with the Redskins right now. I can't remember. Deion Buchanan is with the Redskins or the Tampa Bay. I can't remember which one. So he's gone. He was like the Joker. Joker is a linebacker safety type, like Mark Barron was with the Rams. So I'm looking at the running game, Carry-On versus the front seven of the Cardinals. I'm looking at Stafford, and I'm looking at the receivers on the outside versus two backup cornerbacks or a rookie and Byron Murphy for Washington. I like him, kind of remind you of Brent Grimes. And you're looking at, maybe Jones or Galladay versus Tremaine Brock. So I'm looking at that. And also I'm looking at Terrell Suggs, Hall of Famer, and Chandler Jones versus Rick Wagner and versus Taylor Decker tomorrow. That's going to be a huge matchup, especially if the Lions get pass happy. They get behind early and they do have Stafford drop back 45 times. And if Stafford drop back 30, 35, 40 times tomorrow, I'm gonna probably say he's gonna be very, very sore, like Aaron Rodgers when he woke up this morning. So those are pretty much the matchups I'm looking for. Um, that's what I'm looking for. Let me go to the chat. He said, "Well, the fact is, the Lions haven't James Wilson done anything since '57, so I can't see the sports media telling the team to prove it us wrong. Carry on needs to pop this year. Joe Jose, James Will. I think we will see Ty Johnson with Carry on and CJ. Um, I think you just need to see all Carry on tomorrow. And Anderson in certain situations. Johnson will probably be catching out the backfield, but all that running back by committee shit, fuck that. Give Carry on the ball, and you can spell him with Anderson. You can put Johnson in certain situations, but all that, you got a guy like Carry on. I watched him at Auburn. He's a guy that needs carries. He gets stronger as he go. You know what I'm saying? He gets stronger as he go. So that's why I look at it. Carry on, he need to get in the rhythm. But Anderson to get his and Ty get his, but that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about, him getting into a rhythm. Hawkins just destroyed the car, especially if Reddick not there. James Willis, Melvin Drew. Don't forget about Jesse James. He like 6'7". I think we was mentioning that the other day. Melvin Drew. Man, I'm looking at the replay. Trubisky not gonna make it, bro. He only see one progression. That line ain't that good neither. But he said Bears think they should have took Mahomes or Watson. You ain't lying. I don't know why they didn't take Watson. And Amendola on key on third down, keeping the change when we need him. He always gonna get injured though. To be prepared for him to miss a game or two. I'll get to the upsets week one. Yeah, I will, Ricky. He said Ty Johnson might be taking return duties. He might be helping out. Agnew will probably be. They probably be. He'd be helping out, but yeah, those kind of the matchups I see, man. But you know, that's what I see. The matchups that I see with the Lions and the Cardinals, where we should be able to take advantage of them at. But like last year, we had a rookie quarterback come to Ford Field and just dog walk us. They knew the plays, and it's different with Daryl Bevel being here. But I expect the Lions to do well. I expect them to win. I said 30 to like 17 or something like that. So I do expect them to win tomorrow. Win Sunday. I know Michigan play tomorrow. They play Army. Yeah. But I do expect them to win Sunday. Um, and it's gonna be. It should be entertaining. Either our Sunday gonna be good or it's gonna be bad. I don't think it's gonna be no in between. But I do hope they should dominate a team like this. But it's definitely a surprise game. It's definitely a surprise. We don't know what they gonna bring, and you got a mobile quarterback and he can throw the ball around. Um, but we'll never know. You never know, man. But I expect them to do well tomorrow, man. I expect them to do real well. Sunday. I keep saying tomorrow. I think today's Saturday, but I expect them to do well. But if you fantasy guy, I like David Johnson. I like Carry On. Those two I like. I like the backs in this game, but be interesting. It's a ton of Lions fans going down there, but yeah, man. Before I get off, let me get into these week one picks, and I'll go down my picks in a minute. Just give me a minute. Mm. So all right. I picked Green Bay to win yesterday. For those who don't know, so you got Tennessee taking on Cleveland. Week one is always the hardest to predict. I took Cleveland in that one. Um, I believe Cleveland to win that game. Just my personal opinion. Uh, then you got Baltimore and Miami. I take Baltimore to win that game. Uh, Atlanta, Minnesota is an interesting one. Minnesota is the only divisional opponent other than us that didn't play because the Bears played the Packers. Uh, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one. It's some talk that Julio may not play. Heard he said he gonna play over his contract. Arthur Blank, their owner, offered him a contract. I'm gonna take Atlanta to beat the Minnesota Vikings at whatever the fuck they call their new field now. I'm gonna take the Vikings in a minute. I'm gonna take Atlanta to win that game. But I can see Minnesota winning that one. That one kind of like a pick 'em to me. Buffalo and the Jets. I just took the Jets because they at home, and also Le'Veon. I think it'll be a couple weeks to him getting a rhythm. And Buffalo. I don't know what Buffalo be doing. They got a real good, solid defense, but offensively, I wasn't impressed with their quarterback when he came here. But it was preseason. Washington versus Philly. I mean, really, Philly, dilly. Philly with the win. Big win for Philly. If they lose, it means Carson Wentz went down, and that's not out the realm of questioning. All right, the Rams taking on Carolina. I took the Rams on the road. Yep. Cam Newton still hurt. I think Christian McCaffrey will have a big game. The Rams historically suck against the run. I think the Rams historically suck against the run. Uh, it was like middle of the pack, 20th last year. I think McCaffrey do good. They linebackers. I don't even know what linebackers is, but I expect the Rams. I expect the Rams to win. Cooper cut back. Todd Gurley healthy. It's another guy if you on FanDuel. Todd Gurley only worth 7,600. He was 10, 11 racks last year. I like Todd Gurley. He might be a little bit chalky though, since his price going down. So I wouldn't start him in every lineup. But Kansas City taking on Jacksonville. Let me see what I picked for that game. I can't fucking remember what I picked. That's a close one. I took the Jags, but I think that dude got an injury. I think Nick Foles dealing with an injury. Last year, my homeboy threw 2 picks there, no touchdowns, but Travis Kelce had a huge day. So if I'm you guys, I lock in Travis Kelce tomorrow. But it's a little bit different this year too. They got LaShawn. Well, they had Kareem Hunt last time. He was doing pretty well, uh, but yeah, that's an interesting game right there. But I think the Jags edge it there at home, but I can see Kansas City winning. Indianapolis versus the Chargers. That's my upset of the week, Ricky. I got the Colts beating the Chargers in LA. Every Chargers game is a road game. You know what I'm saying? So I got Jacoby Brissett going to LA getting the job done. Cincinnati traveling to Seattle. I'm rolling with Seattle. No need to explain what already is understood. Dallas taking New York Giants versus the Dallas 425. They calling that the game of the week. Can you fucking believe that? Can you believe that? They calling in Dallas Cowboys and Giants the game of the week. That ain't no fucking game of the week, Fox. There ain't no game of the week, Fox. Please stop it. They be just trying to they make you hate the Cowboys. They be trying to just make this shove the fucking Cowboys down your throat. I'd rather watch Tampa and San Francisco just to be objective before I watch Dallas and New York. Is Daniel Jones gonna start? Because that's the only interesting thing if Daniel Jones start. I don't want to see Eli, and I know Eli the Cowboy killer, and they gonna let Dallas open up at home. Like, come on, NFL, y'all try to do everything to make sure Dallas get a Super Bowl. They fucking suck. They got all the refs on their side. The refs party on Jerry Party bus, and they gonna play. Go ahead and pay Prescott $100 million. Jules Jefferson Salute. Go ahead and pay him $110 million guaranteed. It'd be the stupidest decision you made. If Trubisky was black, he'd wear number 4 in Dallas. I can't believe they talking about that's the game of the week. Are you fucking serious? Dallas Cowboys, man. All right, Detroit and Arizona. I already said Detroit. I took a lot of road teams this week. San Francisco and Tampa. Who I take on that one? I took Tampa. Yeah, I like Tampa this year. I got Tampa on my sleeper. He's a wild card team, but I got Tampa on my sleeper team this year. So I got them beating 49ers. I think Jimmy gonna be a minute to get his legs up under him. But I got Tampa. Pittsburgh and New England. I got Pittsburgh winning that game. I just got a hunch. I'm tired of. I'm no if I love time, but I'm tired of New England. This the year they fall for sure. All right, I didn't even notice the Monday night game was Houston versus New Orleans. That's a good fucking Monday night game. There's 2 of them. I got Houston winning that game. I think Drew Brees fall off this year, but I got Houston winning that game. Denver and Oakland. Antonio Brown crying around in hoe. I got Raiders. I took the Raiders in that one. I don't know. It don't really matter, but I got the Raiders, and those are my picks for the week. And if you want to know my divisional winners for this year, I think I still got I got the Steelers winning the North. I got the Jags winning the South, the Pats winning the AFC East, the Chiefs winning the AFC West, NFC North. I picked the Vikings, but I'm pulling for the Lions. But I was being objective on my other channel. I would love the Lions to win it, but I'm being objective. I took the Vikings. NFC South, the Atlanta Falcons. NFC East, the Philadelphia Eagles. And the NFC West, I took the Seattle Seahawks to win that one. In the Super Bowl, I got the Falcons meeting the Chiefs. Um, so you got any questions? I'll answer them real quick. I know you took Buffalo. Shit. I mean, I don't know what y'all doing offensively in Buffalo. Cheesehead talk. San Francisco surprised him. I had them as a secondary surprise team. I think it's gonna take Jimmy Garoppolo a minute to get his legs up under him. You know, he said Lions win in the North. Yeah, I hope they win in the North. I hope they do. I didn't include. I did this on my other channel. It's Goodfellas Sports TV. You want to follow? I didn't include my team, but I hope we win it. I think it's wide open. Can't never trust Kirk Cousins, first Cousins. The best two wideouts of the Monday night game: Wild Breeze and Watson. Quarterbacks, you mean? Oh, you talking about Hopkins and Michael Thomas? Y'all like that? The Falcons, yeah. I'm going out on the limb. I go out on the limb. I don't know. I just picked them. There wasn't no science behind it. I didn't know who I was gonna pick. That wasn't predetermined when I did it. I just said the Falcons. Fuck it. Everybody getting shocked because I said the Falcons. Okay, I just said the Falcons. I don't know. They got a good team. Freeman. I mean, Matt Ryan ain't shit, but Julio, Calvin Ridley, who they nickel? Muhammad Sanu. They got fast defense. Yeah, I mean, they got one of the most complete teams I've seen. The last couple years, their quarterback just garbage. I think NFC North is going to have a top two, going to have top 10 defenses. I gotta see if Green Bay defense that good. If Trubisky just sucked that bad at the defense, they got some good defenders. Jair Alexander, I like him. I want the Lions to draft him at corner. I like Alexander, Preston Smith, and Darius Smith. I like what I seen from them last year. Blake Martinez in our middle. Got fake AJ Hawk. I liked him last night. And Amos got the pick, from Chicago. So I don't know. We'll see. Does going to be good too. Yeah, I think they're gonna be good. They got the kid from Toledo, the receiver from Toledo. I got James Washington, Juju, Vance McDonald, James Conner. Love his story. He beat Hodgkin's lymphoma. So yeah, they got good defense. Devin Bush, go blue. Oh, Kevin King from Washington. He played for Green Bay. I like him. I like Alexander. I love Alexander tape. Alexander, he just stopped doing dumb shit. I love this tape at Louisville. Good player. I like the way he said the Louisville University. Like, fuck says that. But the Packers 5 out of the next 6 games are at Green Bay. They run the table. Damn, they got 5 home games. That got to include one of us, our game, because we played them after the Chiefs, I believe. Let me see. But hey, at least you ain't got to go to Green Bay when it's cold. That's the thing about it. If you Green Bay, you want them home games down the stretch, because you want the fear of it being cold. That's how I look at it. Cause they Minnesota come in, then Denver come in, then the Eagles come in, then they go to Dallas, then they play us. Hey, as long as I get in Green Bay before it freeze, I'm cool. I don't think Minnesota got a problem going to. That's a dome team. I don't think they got a problem going to Green Bay early on. The Eagles, they play outside, but I don't think they mind going to Green Bay while it ain't cold. And we damn sure don't mind going to Green Bay while it ain't cold. Either Darnell Savage, ain't he a rookie? Packers trying to get on the home. You ain't lying, bro. He said, well, Dallas counts as a home game for us. We own AT&T Stadium. Y'all and Eli. He said McCaffrey might be the best running back this year. Yeah, I like McCaffrey. He do it all. He do it all. People say he white. He ain't. I said I watched him at Stanford. I had to tell the brothers. I watched McCaffrey at Stanford. I said I didn't know. I thought he was light skinned. It. He was returning kick. McCaffrey, an athlete. Yeah, his dad wasn't no athlete like that, but his brother should be starting for the University of Michigan. But that's another conversation for another day. Dylan McCaffrey should be the starter for Michigan. For real. Oh, but it is what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna cover the Michigan game tomorrow. If anything else come up news wise, I cover it tomorrow. He's a lot like Le'Veon. Yeah, he can do it all. He a little bit more explosive than Le'Veon though. He can give you them home run ability, but we'll see. Just think about the Lions' record this be. I don't have no expectations, dog. To be honest, I think anything less than 8-8, everybody should be fired. I just keep it to anything less than 8-8. Darius guys should play. Yeah, I heard he look good. Yeah, they say he looked good in preseason. Darius guys from LSU. Yeah, Darnell a rookie. All right, you can't forget about Saquon Barkley. Well, about what? Oh, best running back. Yeah, but he got to show me again this year. I like Saquon, but he in a messed up situation. Saquon should have been pulling for them to draft Sam Darnold in New York. Real talk. He said, "Yeah, Carrie, bro, you gotta cover that, especially if tomorrow." Yeah, I like McCaffrey, but yeah, Saquon the dog too. McCaffrey got more help around him. Carry on is getting over 1,000. If he stay healthy, he should. If they give him the ball and don't try to get Anderson 100 carries and Johnson, 60 carries and no shit like that, got to handle the ball. All right, bro, you gotta cover it. I'm covering the Army game tomorrow. Yeah, see how I go down, man. I should have went to the game. I might go get a ticket if they got a ticket. Go down there. But yeah, who Michigan State play tomorrow? Yeah, go ahead, email me. I'll hit you back. I wonder who Michigan State play tomorrow. Do they play tomorrow? I watched it. I watched some of their Tulsa game. I watched some of their Tulsa game. Anybody know Michigan State play tomorrow? Let me see. I'm a Wolverine fan. They play Western Michigan tomorrow. It's at 7:30. They in East Lansing. What's the name of their fucking stadium again? They East Lansing this year. Yeah. Any upsets tomorrow? I ain't looked at the schedule. That's a good question. I got LSU over Texas though. Yeah, I got LSU over Texas. Let me look at the schedule real quick. Hold on. Look at the schedule. Uh, Tonight you got Virginia. They already playing against Wyoming, Wake and Rice, Boise and Marshall. Boise just beat Florida State after that debacle from Florida State. ASU and Sacramento later on. Uh, Pitt, Ohio, Ohio State, Cincinnati, Michigan Army, Iowa Rutgers, Maryland, Syracuse. Yeah, I don't see too many upsets tomorrow. It's probably gonna be some. Clemson, Texas A&M. That might be an upset. How Nebraska get ranked number 25? That's crazy. They playing Colorado with Colorado. That was a good game last year. That's a game I watched tomorrow because last year I watched the other game. Alabama ain't playing nobody. Georgia ain't playing nobody. Washington State ain't playing nobody. Oklahoma ain't playing nobody. UFC playing Florida Atlantic. Texas and LSU the game next week. That's the only good game on. Really? That's the only big game on next week. Yeah. And Texas A&M and Clemson. Yeah. Spartan State. That's the name of it. But all right, let me tap out, man. Appreciate everybody, bed. But yeah, man, I might go live for the game Sunday. I might not. I'm not sure, but I definitely be live Monday talking about the game, and then I do predictions on Tuesday. But appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the videos. We gone.